Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Incoming right here on the Psycho Scene Project channel here on YouTube. Today I'm going to be reviewing the new album by the one and only power metal legends that are Kamelot. New album is called Haven. It will be out on the 1st of May through Metal Blade Records. So anyway, for those of you who are watching this and have never actually heard of Kamelot, let me explain to you who they are. Kamelot is one of metal's most unique, influential and prestigious acts to come along in decades. Blending symphonic metal, prog, power and world music, Kamelot stands alone, creating a somewhat theatrical, dark and beautiful sound. Their new album, which I'm going to be reviewing for you today, is called Haven. The band currently consists of Thomas Youngblood on guitars, Casey Grillo on drums, Oliver Palatay on keyboards, Sean Tibbetts on bass, and Tommy Karovic on vocals. The first track on the album is called Fallen Star. Now this starts with piano and vocals. Violins then come in along with some sparse drumming, building up the atmosphere of the song, and then the band comes crashing in with a victorious sounding guitar riff. This leads into a stop-start driving riff topped off by the vocals. An epic sweeping riff leads the chorus of the song, with the lead vocals being backed up by subtle female vocals in the background. At the 3-minute mark we break down to the violins and vocals, which then leads us into a superb guitar solo. The track builds up the epic feeling in the last minute and leads us through to a sudden ending. Up next is the track Insomnia, which I think is the official first single from the album. Now this starts with the guitar sliding into a nice chuggy mid-paced riff, backed up by keyboards and a nice driving drum beat. A stop-start riff then plays to underline the superb vocals on this song. Another driving riff and epic sounding chorus on this song that begs to be sung at the top of your voice if they choose to play this track live. At the 2-minute mark we go into a keyboard solo to add to the epicness of the song. This leads into a guitar solo and duel between the keyboard and guitar. Then the bass drives the song forward, backed up by vocals in the background. Then we're back into that epic chorus. The stop-start riff then takes us through to a sudden ending. Track number 3 is Citizen Zero. Now this starts with the guitar playing a slow, creepy sounding melody. A huge guitar chord then gets played and is followed by a succession of huge heavy metal chords. Then the band goes into an almost a monomarth style heavy mid-paced groove. The vocals then come in over a stop-start riff and keyboards. For the chorus, Tommy is backed by a choir to add to the impact of the words. At the 3-minute mark we break down to occasional guitar and keyboards and the choir singing as well. So we then go into a keyboard solo which takes us through to the middle 8 and some superbly powerful vocals from Tommy. Sorry, tripping up over my own words here. We then get into a guitar solo after the verse which takes us through to the chorus. The song ends with a single guitar playing that creepy sounding melody from the start, and then we come to a fade out. Track number 4 is the first track that was released to the public. This is obviously Veil of Elysium. Now this was the first track from the album also that they played live during their recent UK tour. This starts at a nice fast pace with guitars and violins playing the melody, which then goes into a different melody that can only be described as pure glory, to be honest with you. The vocals then come in over the top of keyboards and drums. Occasional guitar comes in playing a great riff. Then we come to the epic sounding glorious chorus, which is going to be a surefire fan favourite and gets stuck in your head like the great Pandemonium from Poetry for the Poisoned album did. At the middle 8 we go into a slower mid-paced riff backed up by violins and Tommy's vocals, and then into a guitar solo. We then go into keyboards and drums with Tommy singing over the top, and then back into that superb chorus which leads us through to the end of the song. Track number 5 on the album is Under Grey Skies. Now this starts with the sound of what I believe is panpipes and an acoustic guitar. The vocals then come in over violins and the acoustic guitar. Female vocals come in with the first guest on the album, which is Charlotte Wessels from Delane, duetting with Tommy on this track. Together the pair work incredibly well together. together. Yeah, that almost made sense. Anyway, drums then pounded. We go into a sweeping epic riff with both vocalists singing over the top of it. We then go into a slow, superb guitar solo until Charlotte takes the lead for the vocals for the next verse. Tommy comes back in along with the sweeping riff, and the two sing the chorus backed up by a choir. For the last 30 seconds, we're back to the panpipes and acoustic guitar until the end where the song fades out. Track number 6 is called My Therapy. Now this starts with the sound of twinkling piano notes and whispered voices. Drums then kick the band into action with a great fast riff, which then breaks into a faster riff with Tommy singing over the top. We then go into another epic sounding chorus. It's so epic, apparently it's making me draw. I do apologise about that. This is going to be a song that's going to sound absolutely huge live. For the middle 8 we go into a slow guitar riff and a superb guitar solo. We then break down to keyboards and vocals. A nice chuggy riff then takes us into the epic chorus again, which takes through to the end of the song where we have the sound of violins, then a fade out. This is going to be a very short review for this track because it is literally a 44-second kind of interlude. This starts with whispered voices and then a choir singing backed up by orchestration. This sets the mood for what's coming up next on the album. Following Ecclesia is the track End of Innocence. Now this starts with a great chuggy mid-pace riff backed up by orchestration. The vocals then come in over a superb stop-start riff. We then go into another sweeping epic chorus backed up by that excellent riff. The violins then start playing along with the verse riff. At the middle 8 we get a short guitar solo, then back into the superb heroic style chorus. Yeah, I felt the need to do that when I said heroic. There you go. We then end the song with the violins and guitars playing the main riff again until we come to a sudden end. Track number 9 is Beautiful Apocalypse. Now this starts with slightly detuned sounding violins and the guitar playing a riff with an echo effect on top of it. The guitar and band comes in properly after with a nice meaty metal riff, and the vocals then come in backed up by another stop-start riff. Another song with a huge and memorable chorus this one is. During the verses Tommy is backed up by some female vocals as well as adding to the superb feeling of the song. The song has an almost industrial metal vibe to it and sound to it, which I personally highly appreciated, to be honest. At the 3-minute mark we break down to the single guitar and occasional drum beats and guitars. Then we go into superb, strange, off-kilter sounding guitar solo. We then return to the chorus again, then a nice chuggy riff that takes us through to the end of the song where we just come to a sudden end. Track 10 is Liar Liar Wasteland Monarchy. Now this starts with violins and then the band comes in playing at high speed with a nice mid-paced melody being played by one of the guitars. Tommy then comes in singing over a stop-start riff and drumming. A break with vocals and orchestration then leads to a fast and passionately sung chorus where Tommy is backed up by a choir. At the 3-minute mark we go into a fast and excellent guitar solo. We then have a keyboard solo from Oliver which leads us to a nice mid-paced chuggy style riff. Then it happens. The second guest on the album, the one only Alyssa white-gluz, the lead singer now for Arch Enemy and previously of The Agonist, comes in and they really let her off the leash on this track. She rips it up with her superb heavy vocals going full on and adding to the heaviness of the track. Then female vocals come in that I think might well be Charlotte from Delane again. But we then have all 3 vocalists singing the chorus together to superb effect for the last minute of the song. We then break down to just keyboards and orchestration to lead to a fade out and the end of the song. Track 11 is Here's to the Fall. Now this starts with an epic sounding keyboard melody being played. Violins join to add to the sweeping nature of the track's intro. Tommy then comes in singing over a single piano melody and violins. I have no idea why I had so much problem saying the word piano there. As the chorus is backed up by the choir vocals again. A nice slow calm song to follow the insanity of the previous track's chaotic heaviness. Track 12 is called Revolution. Now this starts with an almost industrial drum beat with some occasional riffing from the guitars. This then goes into a superb, almost thrashy style riff. Tommy then comes in with his vocals over the kick drum and violins. Extra vocals from Alyssa white-gluz again can be heard in the background of the chorus. We then go into a nice driving stop-start riff for the verses, and then a faster thrashy style riff with an almost industrial style drum beat driving the song along. They then let Alyssa off the leash again as she brings in her superb heavy vocals again, and then the song goes into full-on fast thrash riffing, which could get pits going if they ever choose to play this one live. We then break down to just Tommy's vocals and keyboards. Alyssa growls the title of the track, and we're back to a few more run-throughs of the chorus to take us through to the end of the song. Track 13, and indeed the final track on the album, is indeed the title track, Haven. Now this starts with orchestration and a keyboard playing the melody. Violins then come in playing a superb different melody and adding to the overall epic feel of this outro. The choir comes back in singing along with the melody, and this leads us through to the end of the song and the album with a very sudden ending. So, what did I make of the new album by Kamelot that is out on the 1st of May here in the UK? Well, I noticed there's only their second album with their current vocalist Tommy Karavik, and honestly, I've seen them live a few weeks ago. You can see my interview with Oliver of the band on this very channel, in fact. However, the new album is absolutely superb, I've got to be honest. I've only heard one previous Kamelot album, which was Poetry for the Poisoned, which was the last one with their previous singer. And a lot of people told me it was a good album, but it really was not one of their best. So I was really impressed with this album. The addition of Alyssa white-gluz and Charlotte Wessels of Delane on the tracks as well helped vary things up. All in all, I'll give it 5 out of 5. It's definitely one of my albums of the year so far. We shall see if it shall stay that way for the rest of the year. However, it's going to take a lot to beat this album. It's that damn good. Anyway, go check it out, go buy it. If you want to support the show, obviously, as always, just visit the Patreon there. I want to thank you very much for watching. I'll be back soon. I know that I've got the new Corpaclani album I'll be reviewing for you soon, along with the new Unleashed album. So those two are coming your way over the next couple of days, along with the usual Underground Rising stuff. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.